Okay. We had a little bit of a problem, technical problem. I did not notice that my voice wasn't recording properly while playing this one, so let's kick back, let's enjoy some of that post commentary. I hope you had good Christmas. I hope you got some good presents, as this is I'm recording this on Christmas Day. I don't know when I'll upload it, but I'll take this time to just wish you good luck and hope you had a very good holiday period. So we left off at the end of that floor. This one went actually pretty smoothly in the end. As you can see here, Deena has been making her way into the elevator quite quickly. So we just moved everybody up, stalled the enemies a little bit with, how is it called? Oh, that's right, with Mizzy. And there's not much to say about this one here, as this is just an extraction operation here. So this floor I ended with not much spare resources, and as I see in the next levels, you really want to end a floor with a good surplus of something, or either industry or science or food. It really does seem as around this point one should work on the industry more than rely on the heroes, because it seems like without very good item drops, the DPS and the health is just not enough to hold off enemies. So a pretty simple conclusion to the run, and we go down. As you can see, there is a little bit of a lore dialogue here. I shall have victory or death. Would you calm down already? Says the demon lord. And Mizzy. And Hikensha is a little bit confused. She asks, "Are you talking to me?" And I don't mind this kind of dialogue. I actually really do enjoy how the different characters have a little bit of a banter between floors. And as you can see, we unlocked some secrets, but I won't go into in-depth explaining these ones, because if you want to see the whole game, I recommend you buy it. It's very much a game that is well suited to be played even after watching a Let's Play. There's a lot of fun imagining a story unfold and like thinking about how the characters will interact. And as I'm not using Deena to open the doors, I'm gonna say what is my favorite line of hers. She goes in all capitalics, in all caps. Just something like, "Everybody shut up! I'm opening the door!" Something like that. So I really like the fact that even when trying to be sneaky, Deena cannot forgo her instinct to just yell at everybody. I've gone for the food replicator. I think what led me to it is I wanted to have a good surplus of food to healing up our people, as only Gork has a significant amount of HP. Well, maybe Mizzy, but Mizzy has the disadvantage that she has to be left alone in a room. And I really like the different tile sets, the different rooms in the next levels. Like this one here, we have a little bit of a more organic thing, and I've seen people say that the art style of the game is a little bit tiring because it's, well, pixelated, I guess. And I think it's... I don't mind it. I mean, I do mind those... I don't mind the pseudo-retro throwback style of some indie games who just do pixelated graphics just for the sake of it. But I think Dungeon of the Endless, I don't mind it. It's actually very enjoyable. As you see that they went for a pixelated graphics not because they wanted to, like they saw an intrinsic value in pixels, in pixel art, which there is, but it's a little bit overused, I feel. It's that they did it for the budget, and what followed is really nice animations, and I feel every character has a very distinct way of dealing with the enemies. So here I unlocked a chest, if you will, but it contained Obbot, whom I could recruit if my party wasn't filled, as there is an upper limit of 4 heroes in your party. You're an interesting being on a morphological level, says Obbot, so he's a little bit of a researcher. And this room is self-powered, which is nice because it means that we're gonna be soon ready to light up all this part of the map and minimize the risk of enemies spawning in it. In hindsight, I really think that relying on my heroes predominantly really bit me in the ass. I think it was in the next level, not right here, but I'll soon see what I have in mind. So here's the exit. Seems like I have an idea of where to run. So I lit up both of the rooms on the right side, so only the exit room will pose any risk of spawning enemies. And hopefully in the next room I got a little bit of dust to light up the last room on the right branch of the map and just be able to deal with the risk of enemies approaching me like they do here. And this room gave me plus 10 dust, which is very nice. As you can see, I lit up my exit room as soon as possible. As you can see, my 3 guys dealt with the enemy wave in a decent amount of time, but still there was some damage done to the food replicator. So I'm lacking in DPS pretty significantly. And as the right side of the map is cleared, I moved everybody up back to the crystal room and tried to explore the top or the north, however you wanna refer to it, part of the map. And again, only 3 characters, and are in the crystal room, and even with plus 10 dust, I still sustain heavy damage to my crystal when my dust levels are falling. So that wasn't very well. I don't think it wasn't very smart of me. It's just I wasn't quite. There wasn't much I could do. Like I could put Mizzy there to gain a little bit of more DPS, but it'd lower my people's well, actually, in hindsight, I could put Mizzy there because they would just put my defense down. And so far on this level, I encountered only the enemies that prioritized my stuff. So here I'm gonna go for Autodoc Shards level 2 from these 3, as the only 2 I can afford right now, and I want to have any research going because I'm feeling pretty bad about this this level. I think I'm gonna be extracting soon. So I think I went for Orthodox Shard right now, as and I think that might have been a slight mistake, as in hindsight I would like to go for more DPS. The Sea Blaster or the Viral Inject, and the Sea Blaster is or Sea Blaster, I don't know. It's a kind of a turret that damages everything in the room, including our heroes, so it's mostly used to weaken the enemies coming inside the room. I've prepared, I've entrenched my heroes in. I do also apologize for only including my mouse cursor in this run and not in the previous ones. And here you can see me building the Orthodox Shards, which again I think it was a little bit of a mistake. My heroes proved themselves not to be able to hold off waves of enemies by themselves long enough not to sustain any damage. And you can see here, I realized, and I was a little bit better in watching it live, a little bit more entertaining I think, that the enemies will prioritize the research artifact and will destroy it. So I think that was a little bit of a spoiler, and I also, even then live and also now, I've overlooked there was an oversight on my part, as I let my food replicator get destroyed by a wave I did not catch on the far right side of the map. And here you can see I took some damage to my crystal. I really like the fact that the crystal's HP, which is like the only, well, apart from my whole party dying, is the only other fail state of the game. I really enjoy that it serves, the dust levels serve two purposes. I really like those kind of mechanics in the game, that there is not only an arbitrary number of, well, an arbitrary fail state number, but it also serves another purpose in this game. For example, lighting up rooms, so controlling where the enemy is coming from in a tower defense kind of a way, and also, of course, being able to use resources, because only powered rooms give you resources from the generators. And you can see here that my research shard was taken out, and I'm in a little bit of a pinch here, as there are two waves of enemies approaching my crystal room. And Gork, while being a good tank, he doesn't seem to be that well suited to stopping them by his own. I think I need more DPS on him. And still, I sustained one hit from that crystal guy to my crystal. Yeah, and the art style is really good, as I said in the first episode of Dungeon of the Endless. Finally, a game with color. I do appreciate how colorful this game is, and also how like, you don't see what's sometimes a little bit disconcerting about indie games is that you can see that the developers use the same palettes. You can argue that there are palettes of colors that work every time, because there are, like, for example, well, palettes use a triad of colors and then an accent, so like a triad of quite similar colors, like for example some warm oranges, reds, and yellows, and then a complementary cyan, complementary like a detail color like cyan, which is cold, which gives a lot of contrast for the small elements you want to lead the viewer's eye to. But this one is it's very colorful in quite an original way, and the only thing I would say works a little bit against for the whole art style of Dungeon of the Endless. It's a little bit hard to read sometimes. Like there is no the character sprites have the same amount of contrast to them than is the same amount of contrast that there is in the background elements, so sometimes people do not stand out properly, and you could see that in me trying to see where my characters were when I was playing early and was not accustomed to the looks. So it's sometimes a little bit hard to make them stand out. And of course, the other questionable part of the game's art style is the inconsistent UI design, if you will, the inconsistent typography of that. So I got some items, some new items on my guys. Basically, I'm always increasing DPS on Mizzy and increasing DPS and tank on Gork. And as you can see, I am in a little bit of a pinch here, as my guys are letting many enemies through. And I think this is the flaw I'm gonna abandon. Spoilers! I'm gonna abandon the run. As you can see, my second food generator got taken out, so I only got a limited amount of food from it. Like, I have 120 or 30. I'm actually... so 26 food, which might sound like a lot, but it really isn't. Most of my guys are at the point that upgrading the levels is pretty pricey. So it's only like 1 or 2 upgrades and then just a little bit more food to heal them up. So as you can see here, I'm spending my remaining industry for some Neurostan modules, as I found out that my people can deal with the enemies, but they are just going through the rooms too fast. So I've built a Neurostan module in a perimeter room, 1 room away from my crystal room, just to slow them down, just to enable Gork to apply DPS, as he applies a lot of damage, but he has a little bit of a cooldown between his bursts. So I'd like to have some oh, my favorite word, have some wiggle room. Right. Again, I apologize for not including the mouse cursor before. It would have been better if I actually recorded the audio, as I caught myself gesturing with my mouse quite a lot when I'm explaining. You can't see my hand, but I tend to always, when I say let's do this here and this there, I always point my mouse cursor, and only now have I found out that my mouse cursor wasn't always there. So I'm in a little bit of a pinch, and here as I remember correctly, I realized that the situation with my generators is not as bad as I thought, because as I said, the generator cost always goes up every generator placed. So first generator costs 20 industry, then the second one costs 25, the next one 30, and so on. So each subsequent one costs 5 more industry, and I thought the cost does not go down after the subsequent ones got destroyed, but that turns out not to be the case, and the cost actually is only tied to how many generators you have running, not destroyed, on the map. So we have 4, the next one will cost what? 20, 25, 30, 30. So the next one will cost 40 or 45. But if every bot 1 gets destroyed, the replacement is gonna cost as if you only had 1 placed. Well, in a nutshell, you're not as punished for losing generators as I thought you were, which is pretty nice and would make me adjust my strategies quite significantly, I think. And also significantly seems to be one of my favorite words. I've been catching myself overusing these words. Here we can see another hero, but again, we have a party maxed out, so we cannot take them. And I think I encountered that guy, Jose. I do not recall his name right now, but he was a lancer guy, a melee, very fast, like a robot, almost. Right, so here I decided not to open up more doors, as there is a huge number of rooms an enemy wave can spawn in, both on the upper side, both on the right side, and I only have a little bit of food available to me, so I decided to ditch this level. I decided that I just lost too much. I lost too much resources, so I grabbed a crystal with Deena, as usual, and made everybody go to the elevator. Already we have 3 waves spawning on the upper side. And that could be the case every time I opened another room. And with these generators down, with no additional turrets, this floor was unsalvageable. What I do also like is how they, while being pixelated, they really kept some pretty modern elements. Pretty modern elements in the art style, in the graphics, like the very nicely done dynamic shadows. I think Dungeon of the Endless is a very interesting case study of how you can make modern pixel graphics and not be like constrained by some arbitrary rules of what's allowed and what's not allowed, effects, or like graphic engine wise. No, it's actually a nightmare to be stuck inside this pathetic body, if you pardon my horrible acting skills. Says Mizzy and her demon being. And Hikensha, I think we can all relate. She asks, "Who am I talking to? Just who's the other?" There's some noisy, "I am Zonryo Hatboards, Demon Lord of 1,000 armies." And funny thing is, being a Pole, I would actually pronounce his surname Hadboj, which might be quite a crazy word to hear for my listeners. So Zanryu Hadbor is the demon lord occupying Mrs. body. And I do apologize for some meowing in the background. I'm actually taking care of my mother's pet cat, and he is quite a noisy little fucker. He likes to talk over people, so enjoy these meowing noises in the background. So next floor, we already have a room with a node. But as you can see, we only have 9 industries, so it's not enough to even put down a generator. That means my first order of business would be putting down a industry generator as soon as possible, just to recuperate. As I even think when I was playing, I realized that I'm running low on industry all the time, and I have to switch to turrets and weakening the enemy from just holding off with my guys. Even though I have a food replicator level 4 available here, I think I went with just using my research right away, as to get a 100 research points I would have to put down a science generator instead of a industry generator as I intended. So I unfortunately had to forgo this very lucrative, very enticing food replicator upgrade. So I kept going with my solo carry. Mizzy encountered a new type of an enemy, some kind of a worm hydra kind of a thing, the one with that actually prioritizes attacking the heroes, which is a very nice change of pace compared to the previous floor. And now I have enough industry to put a generator down, which is good. I'm not really sure, I haven't played the game enough to know if... I do not like to spoil some tactical fun or strategic fun for me. I'm not entirely sure if every level has the same set of enemies, so if every level 5 has enemies that prioritize attacking my structures. It might be also that that the different tile sets affect what the enemies prioritize. And again, I run into a little bit of a problem here. We do not only have a guy that attacks my research artifact, we have a little bit of a problem with weaker characters getting targeted. So as you can see here, I'm gonna move up everybody to the room to the right, and hopefully do not let the enemies go past it as fast as possible. Fortunately, I do not have enough industry for a neurostun module. I'm gonna go explore the left side without anybody in the crystal room, as this is the first room to explore. So Mizzy should be able to deal with any threat here. Again, in hindsight, I think what I did wrong here was I used my food instead of weaving my people in and out of a room to reset the aggro on Gork. I think I should actually let Gork stay in a room and make Hikensha and Deena accompany him after he's taken aggro on himself. So level up Deena, gave her a little bit of an upgrade to her defense, and continued with exploring to the left side. Also put down a Neurostun module to slow down enemies going through my rightmost powered room. So I got some food here, which is always a good thing. It offsets my offset my expense of food, healing up my people. You can see me here preparing to finish up lighting up the rightmost side of the map. And also this is my favorite, I think this is my favorite track in the OST. You really have to give it to the guys from Amplitude, both in Endless Space and in Dungeon of the Endless. The music is just top notch. It's very chill, very ambient, but it's definitely not in the background. It has a lot of like atmosphere and emotion, at least to me, of course. Like I really liked the sound, the music design in the space, as it was. It was both majestic, mysterious, a little bit maybe grim, but it wasn't like just background music for the game. And of course, Endless Space was a very much graphic, light on graphic type of a game compared to Dungeon of the Endless. I haven't played Legend, the Endless Legend, or Endless Legend without A. Sorry, or the. But for now, I do have a lot of faith in the music department in Amplitude. I keep hearing good things about Endless Legend, so I don't think I'm gonna make a let's play out of that. I don't think I'm good enough in like 4X games, but I predict YouTubers like Sola to make a very good good Endless Legend videos if the game proves to be a good 4X system. So as you can see here, I moved everybody to the left side of the map as my right side is all lit up. And fortunately I have 2 self-powered rooms, which makes it easier to light up the left side and lessen the probability of enemies spawning there. I found an other t-shirt, which is a very nice basic armor item, which just boosts your defense without any downsides to it. Give it to Mizzy, as again, I need her to carry, I need her to not take much damage so she can deal with enemies. Fortunately, I have enemies spawning between the new room and my crystal room, which makes it that I take a little bit of damage to the crystal. So as you can see, each room, each level actually gets progressively harder. And I think, looking back on this run, I needed to prioritize my turrets, my weakening of the enemy, instead of shutting down one side of the map entirely. Just I should put down more turrets in powered rooms that surround the important rooms, like the crystal room or rooms with the generator, and make enemies take damage, be slowed down, take damage over time with my viral turrets on the way to the destination. I don't think the shutting down entire sides of a map is a strategy you can use in later rooms like here. As you can see again, I had enemies spawn between my scouting Mizi and the crystal room, with my guys not in the crystal room, not able to react to the danger, to the threat fast enough. Activated the Gork's ability to enlarge his DPS, enlarge his D, as well as Hikensha's boost to the DPS of every hero stationed in a room with her. I even put Mizi back to the crystal room to minimize any risk of an attack, and here we see that I sustained a good deal of damage. My other rooms went offline, so I think this was the time to reconsider my my approach to this level. Which is again a thing I really like about this game so far. It seems that even with the gameplay being pretty straightforward, and every level having the same objectives, you do have to change your approach to the game, of course, according to what team you have, but also, of course, with focusing on your heroes early in the game, and then shifting the approach to the turrets, the industry-heavy approach later, when your heroes are still pretty powerful, but the problem is you cannot move them fast enough to react to the threats. So, in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say is I'm playing this game like too much of a roguelike, too much of a hero-centric game than a tower defense one. This one was a pretty easy encounter. We only had these Lovecraftian looking enemies. So here you can see me expanding into the room surrounding my crystal room, putting down some neurostat modules, putting down some turrets, which will help Hikensha and Deena, as they do not have enough DPS to deal with waves of enemies on their own. Unfortunately, I have not found an exit to the right, left, or bottom of the map, which of course means a bigger risk of enemies approaching the crystal room from all the other directions I have not found the exit in, I guess. The game, I feel, is pretty similar to Dungeon of the Endless, and I would really recommend it, is Revenge of the Titans. It's much more of a tower defense kind of a game, but what sets it apart is the AI of the enemies. It's a standard. One could say it's a standard tower defense game, but only on the very basic level, on the very like on the first look. It actually is more. It has more of a RTS feel to it, as the levels are quite open and the enemies are very varied in what they prioritize, how they react to being shot at. It's a very good game. I recommend trying it out and seeing if that works for you. I played it for a very long time, some years ago. It's one of these games I associate with the winter break, with the Christmas break and the New Year's. So here we have enemies spawning in every corner of the map, and me hesitating a little bit, not knowing which heroes will go which way. So as the leftmost side was the closest one, I put Deena and Hikensha to the leftmost side, and Gork back down here. And also being pretty low on food made this encounter very scary, as Gork is running low on health, all alone, with only the passive Orthodox Shard regeneration. I guess it's a very good progression in this game, in terms of how so far it feels that my characters get stronger, and significantly stronger, so much so that I feel good. It feels good to have my people level up, find new items, be more efficient at the job, but still the difficulty is ramping up faster than I'm progressing, so each room gets a little bit more challenging, and it requires a little bit more strategy, and that's when the active pause system comes in very handy. Even though that's not an actual expression in in English, I have just quantified something coming in handy. So that's being Polish for you. It comes even more handy, and that's quite crazy. Again, Neurostand modules, always nice, especially in the rooms surrounding my important rooms, like the crystal room. I found a new item, dehydrated water. Which gives me a passive that lowers the food healing requirement down by 10%. But I still went with the one that ups my HP and defense. Put it on Deena, as she's a healer, she'll be in situations that I need healing either way. Found Hikensha getting low on health. Heal her up. Used up all of my food. She's gonna bite me in the ass quite hard in a bit. Spoilers! Seems like it's a basic turret. Basic prisoner prod. I think it was upgraded already to level 2 or 3. I don't remember right now. It seems to work pretty well in tandem with Mizzy. Dealing with a wave of enemies who only managed to do minor damage to my modules on the right side of the map. Right, so I have a prisoner prod level 3. And I've actually started putting them down in the self-powered rooms just for them to do a little bit of work on enemies, weaken them, so taking them out with my heroes will take faster, and so my heroes will be able to react to the other threats from other sides of the map quicker. Here I have a industry generator level 3 available for research, but not enough science creators, and also I will have to wait one more turn for enough industry to get my science generator. Only thing left for me to do is keep exploring. And we have a new hero, Elise Ness, if I'm reading that correctly. Right, Elise Ness, who seems to be a pretty badass hero. At least I really like her animations and her style. This is the first time I've seen this person. You can actually, I think you can let one of your heroes go and replace them with another hero. Next room gives us a dust bank, and I would actually go for that because, well, I just think taking a risk of losing Hikensha, for example, would be good if we could take Elise on our side, as she seems to have a pretty high DPS, as we can see from what happens in this room when the enemy wave comes through her. Like, look at those animations, like, isn't that badass? It's pretty good. Just this big thumping sound of a machine gun. Gotta love it. I have a weak spot for, like, an astronaut looking heroes, like in Risk of Rain, I guess. Something in those dome-like headgear does it for me. Gork's running very low, and here is the error I made. I healed up Gork, but I did not watch my health level or on Mizzy, and now Mizzy is too slow on her retreat, and she's dead. So say hello to roguelike elements, I guess. The run suddenly got very hard. I've lost my carry. I've lost Mizzy, who was a... well, she was a linchpin for my run. I'm not done with the run yet, so we'll see what the future brings. But losing her was a big hit. I took Kensha to look if Elise is alive, but to no avail. Pretty bummed out. I'm still bummed out about losing Mizzy in this run, so I even activated the dust bank. Because, well, by this point I could take a loss of a hero. I'm still not sure if a dust bank can actually kill your hero outright. I did get a little bit more dust, and now I shut off the whole right segment of the map, just to be sure that the only enemy wave that spawns is gonna be on the left, and it's gonna be only one room worth of enemies, so as to minimize the hostile threat. Seeing as my DPS and my scouting ability with Mizzy down lowered very much. To the point of losing the run. I don't feel good about this run, but we'll see. I'm still hoping. I'm gonna give you another spoiler here. I did not encounter more NPCs on this level, I think. I did find an exit, and I think only after a short amount of hesitation here, I lit up every room leading to it and made my escape. As this run, this level seemed unsalvageable. Unsalvageable? I think that would be the proper pronunciation of that. I don't know if... yeah, I guess pronunciation is a good word for that. I was wondering whether I should open up the room to the right, but I guess I went with just extracting. Yeah, so Gork, as usual, Gork went to the as close to the exit as to maybe get a couple of hits if some fast-moving enemies spawn. And here we can see again a basic extraction. And to my surprise, there was another NPC to my right. Now, I did have only 10 food, or even less. No, actually it's 10 food, because plus 0. I do not have any generators. So, even if I discover the NPC to my right, I won't be able to recruit them. So, with this room done, we proceed to the floor number 7. And Gork says I'm claustrophobic. I'm claustrophobic. Sorry in advance if I flip into a psychotic rage, which is good. It's just a good thing to hear, which is always, you know, it's like, it's a thing you wanna hear when you're descending into an ancient, forlorn dungeon. You wanna know that one of your friends may go into a psychotic rage, but this run is not for naught, which is good. We've unlocked Hikensha. We've successfully we've been able to make to proceed through 3 levels with Hikensha without her dying. So next time we will have her available. I'm gonna take a look at her abilities. Maybe next run I'm gonna take her and see if she gets significantly different from other melee fighters when upgraded. Now, food replicator. Very, I think, logical step. We have to recuperate from the loss. I want to upgrade my people, I want to be able to heal them, and I want to be able to recruit any NPC I come across immediately. Because, yeah, losing Mizzy was a very bad thing. And I do like the new tile set in this level. It's like a ancient, I don't know. I think it's like a library. They're like consoles. They're like rows of books, or maybe some ancient data tapes. Who knows? I await the challenge with Corm and something. Oh, we can choose one of those Zen kind of warriors, like a warrior philosophers. Yeah, you see me here waving my pointer, my mouse pointer up and down. I was talking about how I like the new tile set here. I guess that's the good, very significant advantage of having pixel art. Even if it's as defined as here, it still leaves you a lot to imagine yourself. Like, are those candles that emit light here? Are those books? Who knows? I do appreciate how not everything in this game is outright explained, outright put forth. I'm using Hikensha to scout, but I do have to move her back as soon as she takes any damage. And this is what I should have been doing from the get-go. Moving Deena and Hikensha away, making sure the enemies prioritize attacking Gork instead of my vulnerable ladies. I guess I wasn't, I guess you really have to maximize your minimize your food output, minimize your healings. So here I put down a science generator, as I want to research something and research something again, as I have a nice some nice researchers available. And here I found a merchant in the last run of this recording, I think. And I also found out that I can actually sell, and for good price, my current items, which is very good because that makes it worthwhile to sell them, upgrade Gork's DPS if I remember correctly. Right, so plus 22 DPS. I'm gonna sell my previous. I'm gonna sell Gork's previous weapon, and that's very good. I'm gonna remember that for the next ones, that you can actually get a lot of industry back from a merchant with selling your unneeded items. And that's it. Next time I'm gonna make sure my voice records, or maybe I'm gonna make a post commentary. I do actually like these. Oh, let's see. Let's see what the future brings. See you next time.